I came here in the late 80s with my husband. I was working at Rehab Hospital as their marketing director, and I did that for almost 2 years. But what had happened prior to that was when I graduated from college in like 81, I went to Pacific University because I'm from Oregon. And I was trying to prove I was smart, and I took art classes, and I was an athlete, and I thought, oh, I'd make a really good physical therapist. And I was teaching gymnastics and different things, and so I understood the body, and I took all the pre-med courses to apply to be a physical therapist, and genetics and physics and anatomy and physiology, and I took art classes to kind of bring up my GPA, which was ridiculous. It was like, why weren't you studying art then? But it's kind of funny how you think you're going to start one way and then you end up another. And when you look back, you go, oh, I'm so glad it went that way because I know so much more. Yes. Yeah. And so when we came here, I didn't do art for almost 10 years. And then I was on an errand. I'd worked for a PR company. I'd worked for a real estate company. I had a special events company. We did a lot of different things. And so my life was really, really varied. And then when we came here, I hadn't been doing anything with art. And I was taking one class at night, a color class at the university. And then I hadn't been to any museums or read any magazines. I couldn't understand the language when I read it. I didn't relate to something having energy. And so then one day I was on an errand at the First Insurance Building, and I decided, oh, I'm done early. I have a few minutes. I'll go see that Georgia O'Keeffe show that's over at the museum. And so I went across the street. I bought my ticket. I went up the elevator, and the elevator doors opened. And I walked forward, and I saw this amazing Georgia O'Keeffe piece. I think it was one of the waterfall pieces. And I just walked up to it, and I don't know why, but I heard, you can do this. While I was in there, I did a little circle. Jay Jensen had been the curator of that exhibition, and I went to the next one, and it was like, if you don't do this, you never will. And then the next one, and I don't know if this is my subconscious or is this Georgia? We were having a conversation, or all three of us were. I don't know. But I went back and I told Ko Miyataki, she was the foundation director for Rehab Hospital at the time, and I told her I was going to quit my job and go study art. And that's what I did. And my husband was so great because I remember driving in the car with him, and I said, you know what? I went to the museum today. It was just about as we were driving past it, and I go, I want to stop doing what I'm doing. I want to leave my job and go study art. And I said, and when I do, I'm not going to be dressed like this. I'm not going to have these beautiful clothes. I'm going to be sweaty and stinky and messy and dirty. And he goes, there's some charm to that too. And I just went, oh, I'm so glad I married you. So that's kind of my story. Did I grow up here? Yes, I grew up here a lot. The last few years has been so tumultuous, and people are so divided. And so if there's one thing that can bring us together that we can all agree on, let's start there. And to me, that's the environment.